inside the block. Scoops it up. Booker brings the boom.
What's up, everyone? NBA Hardwood show. We are back talking 7 games, I believe, on DraftKings in the NBA today. Big Friday slate. Lots of games, too. There's 10 overall, but 7 on the DraftKings slate. That way you can go on and have a good day, right? This is the type of slate that JSU likes. He understands we don't need the 3 games. You can have the night slate if you want. If you're a night slate guy, you can go out early and then play the night slate. So a lot of ways to play it tonight. JSU, how are you doing today?
Doing all right. Ready to get back on the wagon, pick some winners for the people, and hopefully 7 games. I do like a nice 7-game slate, nice hour of basketball for lock. You go 7 to 8. It's perfect. Nice Friday, man, going. So it's nice in Boston right now. So we're out in Massachusetts, and we got this coupled with a big baseball slate, dual baseball slates today. We had the early slate, now we got the main slate. So those guys will come on in about an hour or so, talk some baseball for you guys on this channel. So stay tuned for that. But we got hoops winners to pick. Mango, what'd you think of John Morant's winner?
I didn't actually see the actual shot. Was it like I saw he hit a game winner.
It was a typical John Morant, like drive in the middle of the lane, stop, pivot, turn, and his defender kind of sagged back and he shot like a little turnaround bunny.
Was it the one where he had like that insane step back or whatever? Like, was his step back weird? I saw Big T tweet something about that. But it
wasn't like a step back, but it was like I'm not saying it was an easy shot. It was a nice move. Like, he went down full speed, why those guys switch like that. Like, I'll still never understand why you're not trying to get the ball out of the best player on the team's hands in that situation. So I don't know why teams just naturally switch out, let the big switch out on Ja like that. Like, I would do anything besides that. I just think it's a poor coaching move to just let they just let the center on an island with Ja, which was just terrible. So
I'm watching it. Yeah, I'm trying to see how the center got on him. Oh, off the switch before the ball came out. That makes sense.
Did you see before the shooting the fingers? Ja,
I saw that. I saw the gunshots. Don't worry, I saw that. Yeah.
I will just say too, I do think that first of all, I don't really love banning celebrations at all. The NBA, the NFL does it. Don't really love that shit. I will say though, like, I don't get how shooting guns is a celebration. You know what I'm saying, man? Going like, I don't get that. But to each their own.
Shooting the shot, right? You're hitting. I don't know. I mean,
I guess like, shoot. I bang in your eye. I don't know, but it's kind of off to me. It's kind of off. Listen, I liked a lot of the football celebrations T.O. used to do back in the day, get a little creative, bring the pom-poms out, get the popcorn going. I don't know, the NBA, though, with the guns, man, I don't get it. And it's not just Ja, too. They said Pods did it in one game. Not a big fan of the guns thing. I'm fine with having a gun, but, for your protection, but not a big fan of, like, the celebration. Not that I think someone should be fined for it, though. Like, unless you're someone like Ja, I guess, who
has a specific reason why.
Yeah. Unless you're someone like Ja, like, if he makes sense. But
did you see? Did you ever see the college football gun celebration?
No.
You would know which one I'm talking about. So the defensive end sacks the quarterback. And when he
You can't do anything in college.
yeah, but
right?
so when he sacked the QB, he just took out a shotgun basically, and he went bow, bow, like that, like over the quarterback on top of him. It was
Unsportsmanlike fouls in college are crazy. They're for like nothing too. So that's actually an easy call. But
oh yeah, he got called for it, but it was one of the funniest celebrations I've seen because it was definitely out of left field too. It was
yeah. I just think Josh should know better by now. Like you unfortunately you can't do it. Of anybody in the NBA right now, you specifically should not be doing that.
Yeah, I'm with you. So but hey, I like Ja right now. I think for DFS, I think he's someone that's going to be good to us. So I'm Team Ja right now. I'll say that.
Well, Memphis is a good team to target because they play so fast.
I know they're going to be a good team down the stretch. I think they're also pushing for the playoffs.
I mean, I don't think they're a good team, but they'll be a good team for DFS.
Yes, I agree. And their defense has not been great as well. When you play Zach Edey that much, like I said on yesterday's show, it's not going to be beneficial. But all right,
Scottie Pippen's actually been really good for that team too. He's a good backup.
Yeah. Also, the kid is saying you're getting soft with your gun take.
Maybe I'm getting a little soft. I don't really care. If you're Ja, you got to fucking know better, dude. Like, come on. Find a different celebration. I don't know. Figure it out. You're creative enough. You got time. Figure out a celly.
Yeah, he's a gun guy. I don't know what to tell you. He likes the guns. But, it's good stuff. But, all right, we should get into the slate. JC, I do know the thing I noticed with the slate when I looked earlier, a lot of injuries that like we've just seen every single week. It feels like, you know what I mean? Like every day, it's just like the same injuries. Jaylen Brown, Cade Cunningham's not questionable. Scotty Barnes questionable. Similar in the Portland situation. I'm not going to go down at all, but you get what I'm saying. You have the Denver stuff if you're playing any of those slates. So it's a spot where there's like a lot of spots we've already seen. I'll say that. But we will go to the first game, the Utah Jazz, who hate dealing with them in DFS. And then, of course, the Indiana Pacers. And the Indiana Pacers have Pascal Siakam, who is questionable. That is actually one piece of news that we have not seen in a bit, right? We got Benny Mack, Neesmith, Potter, Big O is questionable. So a bunch of questionable guys overall in this game. Pacers side of the ball, that's the first thing we should talk about here. And we'll talk about how Tyrese Haliburton could be one of the best plays on the slate at $9K, especially if Pascal Siakam's out. Of course, it would give a nice bump to Miles Turner at 6.3K in this matchup against the Jazz. And then if they are missing some of these ancillary pieces, right, the Neesmith, the Benedict Mathurin's, and if they are missing a Pascal, that's going to open up the door more for Obi Toppin, Andrew Nembhard, TJ McConnell, to kind of have some roles in this offense tonight, gain some usage. Utah, not a team that we have loved rostering, but they are in that situation, JSU, where they don't really have guys. Like, it's like weird. Some games they've got like 13, and other games they like move it down to like 8 or 9. And today is that kind of 8 or 9 spot. You got Filipowski, Keontae George, Isaiah Collier, Sexton, Sensabaugh, Juzang, Svi, Springer, and then Potter and Big O are questionable. So if both of them miss, then they are down to 8 guys. I don't think there's anyone else. I guess EJ Harkless is technically there and could play. But the point I'm getting at is they could be shorthanded, and they are playing a Pacers team. I know they're not that good at basketball, the Utah Jazz, but if a Johnny Juzang starts, if a Bryce Sensabaugh starts, these guys are going to, get ownership and be guys that we have to at least make decisions on this slate. So what are you doing here with the Jazz and Pacers, Jays?
Yeah, I actually think, and I've been kind of a little lower on the Jazz in some of these spots. This is probably one of those spots, though, where I do think, playing some Jazz makes some sense here, Mangone, especially if we get another one or possibly 2 guys out. If you get this down to like an 8-man rotation or something like that, then for sure would like to slam a bunch of these Utah plays here. I do think that just the way I'm looking at it right now. You got Shibwe in there with Filipowski, and I do think Shibwe kind of hurts Filipowski's like big upside at 7-1. So if he's in, I think Filipowski's fine, but I don't feel I have to get him. If he's out, I do think he becomes a really good play in that instance, Mangone. I think the minutes become so secure. And then I think the guards are interesting. Collier, Keontae George are my favorite two. I'm not playing Colin Sexton. I think those are the two guys to play. And then Bryce Sensabaugh as a cheap guy is the guy that I would look at. Johnny Juzang would be fifth, but that's the way I'm looking at it right now. If Shibwe's in and he starts, I'm fine with him playing some Shibwe. But I want to see him starting probably at that price tag. But yeah, I do think Utah's good plays. I think I want to wait and see who else is out. But I'm going to like some Utah pieces. I think on the Indiana side, we definitely need more clarity, right? We got 3 guys questionable, 3 guys that play meaningful minutes and or start. And, if Siakam is out, Obi should become a really good play at that price tag, 4,300. I would like him. Miles Turner, I think, becomes a better play. Even Hallie, I would like a little bit more. So this game could turn from just a good game, Mangone, that I want to get some pieces from to like a game that I want to just jam if the news falls right. So I really like this game here, and I think I could like it even more when we get some news.
No, you're right. It definitely could turn into that game. We'll get the news. We're doing this at a different time. We've been doing it at 4:45 a couple of times this week, but we're doing it at 4 today, so we actually won't get the news. Getting the times messed up.
Well, we will get the news before the slate lock. Yes, so if you're a member, obviously, we'll be able to react to it in the Discord, and we'll be able to like base content off of it. And we might even get it a little sooner than like 6:30. You know what I mean? We might get it like an hour and a half before. So
yes,
that's the one good thing. It just feels like on the slate, I think there's a clear like 2 or 3 games that I like over the rest, and this game's in the boat. This game's in that 3 pack of games that I'm kind of interested in, and it could go to 2 or 1 depending on the news.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think this is definitely one of the games. It depends on the news flows, right? Pascal obviously becomes probable. That would definitely make us not as excited. Not to say Halliburton couldn't have a good game, but like that would matter. And if only 1 or 2 of the pieces are in, it all depends. And like even like let's say Pascal and Nesmith are out, and then Benedict Mathurin's in. Well, Benny Mac would be a great play, right? Like out of nowhere, and I don't think people would understand that because he's been questionable all day. So it's a lot of moving parts that we have to kind of wait and see on. Next game up, we'll talk Kings and Charlotte Hornets, and I hate rostering the Charlotte Hornets. You are kind of similar, I think, on that right now. Against the Kings, I could definitely see a Miles Bridges and Mark Williams be contrarian spend-ups that you could get to if you want to. They are currently at under 1% on SaberSim. You can play them, but I don't think you need to play them. I think there's just better spends and better ways to build out your lineups. We also have a questionable tag on Nick Smith Jr. If Nick Smith Jr. does not play, that likely opens up the door for KJ Simpson to be probably the guy as the point guard today. Sure, like Seth Curry can play some point guard minutes here and there, but like it opened up big opportunity for him. It would even help like maybe a Wendell Moore Jr. if you wanted, but I don't know if I want to mess around with those guys. Like if you look, typically when this situation happens with the Charlotte Hornets, the guards they have are KJ Simpson, they have Nick Smith Jr., and then Damian Bowe sometimes pops in there and gets some run. He's not even there, right? So maybe it'd be a Marcus Garrett that would get a little more run. The point I'm getting at is that Nick Smith Jr. news kind of matters a little bit because that definitely helps out KJ Simpson a lot and funnels a lot of usage and minutes his way. Could even help out a Seth Curry as an option, and Josh Okogie. Just more of those wing guys could open up his options too. Kings side of the ball, I definitely don't love rostering the Kings. Last slate, I definitely played them more than I usually do when they were playing against the Wizards. just a good matchup against Charlotte. I can't completely ignore that. Sabonis, we should discuss him. He is a questionable tag. And if Sabonis plays, it's a great matchup against Charlotte. If he does not play, that opens up the door for 3.8K Jonas Valanciunas to just be the chalk of the slate and someone that you feels like kind of a must-have on the slate. So you cannot ignore that factor. That's just like a slate-changing piece of news. Of course, if Sabonis is out, that would help DeRozan, Levine. They would get bumps. You could argue it could give Malik Monk a bump, but, man, he has just not been that great. I know he used to play in Charlotte way back in the day, but I am not super excited about Malik Monk. I wouldn't mind Keegan Murray a little bit, but I think Jonas Valanciunas, DeRozan, and Levine would be my three favorite Kings, and it would easily be Valanciunas as the best play. And then, of course, I think KJ Simpson's looking to be my favorite Horton if I have to pick one, but that depends on the news. JSU, obviously it's news dependent here, but what's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, 100% KJ Simpson. If they get another guard out in Nick Smith, then he definitely becomes the best play. I think he might still be the best play right now on the Hornets, and he could just become a better play. If Nick Smith Jr. is out, I do think it boosts the minutes of Seth Curry. To Gene Saloon, I think is a guy they want to get minutes. And that's the thing, right, Mango? Like the problem with Charlotte is there's a clear group of guys that I think they want to like get some minutes for. And then there's a clear group of guys that they're like cool with playing anywhere from 18 to 25 minutes. And it's like, I don't want to play guys that are just going to play 18 to 25 minutes. I don't want that range. You know what I mean? You just talked about Joval. If Sabonis is out, we're going to get Joval for 28 plus minutes. Probably more than that in a close game. Like, he's a smash play at 3,800. Everyone knows that. He's going to be, 80% Mangone?
Yeah, he would. I mean, it depends when the news comes. And, like, this obviously is the first game.
It's going to come before the slate. So
correct.
He's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to come 30 minutes before is what you're getting.
Yeah, exactly. So, he's going to be 80%. I think either way, he's just a tough play. We made cases to not play guys like this, i.e. Thomas Bryant a few slates ago. I don't think he falls in that category. He's a much better fantasy producer.
Jason, can I make a case that I think Sabonis just sits? And here's the case. I just pulled up the schedule. I think he's just going to sit. It seems pretty obvious.
Well, it was a downgrade in the middle of the day.
Yeah, so one, it was a downgrade. That's a good point. Two, they're playing Charlotte. Charlotte is definitely a team that you could beat with Valanciunas clearly at the 5. Yes, they are obviously pushing for the playoffs. Like if I look at the standings, let me just do that before I say the schedule. Standing-wise, they are that 10 seed. They are fighting the Phoenix Suns. But hear me out, JSU. Their schedule after Charlotte, they have 5 games in 7 days, basically. So they play – actually, I think it's 8 games, 8 days. But it's Cleveland, Detroit, Denver, LA, and who do they end the season with? The Phoenix Suns, which could be a playoff game for that final spot, depending on how these teams win and lose. So when you see Cleveland, Detroit, Denver, LA, Clippers, and Phoenix on the schedule, yes, you want to win against Charlotte. Like, that's a W you need to have, but I think you kind of risk the Valanciunas thing and go from there. I don't know if you agree on that, but that's my take.
Yeah, I kind of agree with your take. It does feel like he sits. So, that comes into play. Like DeMar DeRozan becomes a much better play. Zach LaVine, I think I would rate DeMar 2, Zach 3 like you. I probably won't pay 6-1 for Keegan Murray or Malik Monk, but they'd be contrarian spends for sure. And on the Charlotte side, I think right now I'm just looking at KJ. I don't want Mark Williams and I don't want Miles Bridges right now. So I just don't trust their minutes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's definitely a spot where I could see as the slate develops, I might load up on this game just a little bit more because, hey, like I feel like I need to because of the news and the way it hit. So that's going to be really important. And then, of course, I'm going to be a little careful with Charlotte. Like, I like KJ Simpson, but, like, the rest of them I don't need to play. And it depends on how the news hits. Maybe I end up being off Charlotte completely. we'll have to see. Let's get to Detroit and Toronto. We do have some big news in this game, right? Cade Cunningham, he is questionable. We already have Tobias Harris out. Isaiah Stewart is serving another game on that suspension, so that's definitely important. If a Cade Cunningham sits, that definitely helps out Malik Beasley, Oscar Thompson, Dennis Schroeder, Jalen Duren. The problem is they are kind of priced up. They're more so priced up for the Cade being out, but Tobias being out too, that would help a lot, right? And it's like you could make the case that they won't get there at their price tag with all those guys out because they are priced up, but you could also make the case that there's still some good opportunity there for their upside. And I think Oscar Thompson's usage would be insane at 6.2K. I definitely would be very, very interested in him. If Cade plays in a matchup against Toronto, sure, you could make a case he could be a contrarian spend, but if he plays, this seems like an easy spot to really not play many of these guys. I think I'd be more excited about a Jalen Duren, who could obviously destroy in this matchup, especially with having Cade there to help him out and feed him a little bit more. But I could see this being a spot where I really want to be lower on if Cade is in. And then if Cade is out, yeah, Oscar Thompson clearly I think is the best play, followed by maybe a Duren and then Beasley for me. Especially with Isaiah Stewart still being out, that's going to help someone like Jalen Duren. It helps Paul Reed pop a little bit if you want to value in him. Toronto side of the ball, questionable tag on Scotty Barnes, and they are also missing other options, right? RJ Barrett, Grady Dick, Ingram, they are all out. Jakob Poeltl is back in along with Emmanuel Quigley, so they do have guys. It's not like you're going to be playing, loading up on Jacoby Walter and all these other guys like we were considering the other day. Toronto feels a little crowded today, so I'm not super excited about them. Curious to get your thoughts on this game, JSU.
Yeah, Toronto definitely doesn't excite me that much. I want to see what happens with Scotty. Him being in or out might change my feelings a little bit, might make me like Jacoby Walter a little bit more. Maybe someone else pops in the starting lineup that, I get interested in, but I want to wait and see what happens with him. The Detroit side is definitely the more interesting side, and it's just because of Cade. When Cade's out, just opens up so much usage for all these other guys. No Tobias Harris on top of it. You talked about them still missing Isaiah Stewart. So I think I have more interest for sure in this game if Cade is out. If Cade's in, I kind of have minimal interest in this game. But if Cade is out, I would like Duran. I would like Oscar Thompson, Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley. They've played really good, but I'll give Tim Hardaway this. He's played amazing, and he's $1,400 cheaper than Malik Beasley, and they're pretty much the same player. They're like the same players, scorers. You know what I mean? They're just the exact same player. I'm just getting one for $1,400 cheaper. So, if Cade's out, you can go right back to him. The Paul Reed play at 3,600. I don't hate because Durant could get in foul trouble, and those 14 minutes could turn into 20-ish. So I think you could play him. But again, even Schroeder, I think is in play for sure if Cade's out. But all that to say, if Cade is in, I will be lower on this game because the Toronto side is just annoying to me. You know what I mean? Even watched that game yesterday. Jamal Sheed starts. He plays 25 minutes. Again, I don't want my guys capped like that. And it feels like there's some of these guys are capped. You know what I mean? These bigs. Jakob Poeltl's actually been really good outside of last game, but kind of capped with the minutes. It's annoying. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't want that. So maybe if Scotty's out though, that could change. I just still think they have enough bodies, Mangone, where they could spread out the minutes and it won't really change as much.
All right. Yeah, I definitely think this is a tough game to figure out. Obviously the news is going to be important, JSU. Is Duren someone? I feel like Duren is someone that if Cade's in, you're going to like a lot. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think he's someone that honestly, might actually get a little boosted from Cade being in a way. So, because all the attention kind of gets put on Cade, which is going to free him up more for easy looks at the rim. So, I think he's the one that doesn't get hurt. I think Oscar gets hurt. The only thing that helps him is Tobias is out. So, he might still get those extra minutes. But Jalen Duran, I think it just helps that Stewart's out and they want to play him if he's, not in foul trouble. So, yeah, he's the one guy I could probably look at if Cade is in. But do you see anyone else you could play if Cade's in?
Do I see anyone else I could play if Cade's in? Probably not. Could you play Oscar? Like, you could.
Saying you could play Oscar, I think, but
you could. I
definitely don't think it's as good of a play.
Yeah, like could Malik Beasley hit 10 threes in this matchup and be like on the winner? Yeah, he could, but I just doubt him going to do that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
and Jake, I don't think anyone's mad. I think it's more like Ja Morant. Everyone looks at it like what an idiot because of his situation that he's already been in, and then he does it again. I don't think anyone's actually mad. I think they're more looking at it like, what is this dude doing? That's at least how I look at it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, let's get to next game up, Phoenix and the Boston Celtics, and we'll talk about this game. We'll talk about the situations that we got going on here with the Celtics. So here are the injuries. It's a little bit of a laundry list, but Jaylen Brown, questionable. Drew Holiday, he is off injury. Drew Peterson's questionable. Doesn't really matter. Porzingis, Tatum, they are off injury. They're in. Jordan Walsh, questionable, along with Derek White and Bradley Beal. Or Derek White, off injury. If we talk about the Suns side of the ball, Bradley Beal, who I just mentioned, he's off injury. Kevin Durant, he is out. And then Royce O'Neal, he is off injury. So there are definitely plays to talk about in this game. The Celtics are kind of tough because they seem a little too healthy for my liking. Now, if a Jaylen Brown misses, sure, a Jason Tatum makes a lot of sense. My problem, JSU, is I do have to spend $11K for Jason Tatum. I know salary isn't as much of a thing this time of year, but $11K is definitely not cheap for Jason Tatum in this spot. I don't know what to do with the rest of the guys like Derek White, Porzingis, and Drew. They just all feel a little bit pricey to me. Obviously, they would get some bumps if a Jaylen Brown is out. The Suns side of the ball, it's definitely not one that we can ignore. I don't love the matchup. They're like 15-point underdogs. Every single play on this game is going to be 10% or less right now. Now, Devin Booker is 10.2K, and he's got a decent projection coming in at 7%. But listen, this ain't an easy matchup. This is definitely one of those games I could see the Phoenix Suns just mailing in. If they get beat bad, if they keep it close, it could be because of Devin Booker, right? It probably is. Bradley Beal at 6'7". There's definitely upside there at the price, but rostering Bradley Beal at this time of year definitely does not feel great. I know Gillespie is someone that's been getting some ownership. I struggle with this Suns team right now. I don't really want to get that much exposure to them. I just think there's a lot better spots on this slate. I think News is going to come in and give us better spots as well. So it does look like it could be appealing right now, but I think I'm going to be lower on this game overall. JSU, how about you?
Yeah, I'll let everyone else play Connor Gillespie. I will not be doing that here. Bradley Beal, active for this game. I don't know if he's good to go like full run. I would assume he's got to be. But either way, that's going to affect Gillespie's minutes. Royce O'Neal playing in this game, I think will also affect it a little bit. Right, Mangone, they had a lot thinner team. I think they only played 8 guys last game, if I remember correctly. So that's not going to happen again. I don't think. I think they'll be tight, but I don't know if they'll play 8. And either way, I think they have some guys that, now you can put in to take him out. So I don't think he's getting no 35 minutes or anything like that. So, yeah. Not him. It's a tough spot for Phoenix, honestly, against Boston, in Boston. And Phoenix sucks. Like, let me be clear. Like, this team, even healthy, they still suck. And it's just, is Jaylen Brown going to play? I don't know why you would play him in this spot. You're at home. Everyone else is playing. He's clearly dealing with, injuries and stuff like that, being nicked up. He played last game, right, Mangone? He was in last game. So, yeah, I mean, the Celtics are a team I probably don't want a piece of with them close to fully healthy. If Brown plays, definitely not. Even if he's out, though, like maybe just Tatum because we don't have great spend-ups on this slate. And Tatum flopped last time out, so maybe I keep him in the pool as a bounce-back stud. I just don't see much else I want to play from this spot, man, going. Like the Phoenix side, I think would have the better plays just because they have to play their guys minutes, right? They need to win games. So, that's the one thing where I'm like, it's not a good spot, but Phoenix like kind of has to push their guys, I think. So someone's got to pop. Maybe it's just Devin Booker though. Even though I love Devin Booker last slate, I don't love him as much on this slate. So, yeah, first look, he has a couple Celtics. Yeah, I mean, I don't love these price tags, to be honest with you. I mean, these price tags are high. Derek White's 7.8. Drew Holiday's 6.6. I mean, I know Drew Holiday's been really good the last couple games, but that's expensive. Pritchard 6.1, Al Horford 5.7. Again, these are games where guys are in, guys are out. They're pretty healthy right now. I feel like we're overpaying for most of these guys, Mango.
Yeah, I'm like good on this game. Like it's definitely like of the games we've talked about, it might be the game I'm lowest on right now. Now, if
I think it's just the studs, Mangone. If you play anyone, I think it's just the studs.
Yeah, and obviously you need Jaylen Brown out, I think, to make it even better of a spot. And we'll see if he plays. I don't know what's going to happen. I assume he continues to sit, but we'll have to see. Did Kevin Durant have a real injury, JSU? Do you know that?
I think he did.
Right. The reason I ask is there's all these rumors that like these guys are like kind of packing it up and like they're trading them, right? They're going to trade Beal if they let him.
No, I think he did. I think he wanted to try and get this team into the playoffs and give it a shot. But
I just didn't know if the team was just like, all right, like we're going to Cancun early. You know what I mean? Like
the Beal one is more interesting to me because like all of a sudden this guy was like close to playing last game. All of a sudden, after Kevin Durant gets ruled out, it was weird. I know he didn't play, but it's kind of off.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get to the next game, OKC and the Houston Rockets, which if this game was taking place, in like May, this would be a great game, right? The 1 and 2 seed going at it. I mean, it could be a good game tonight. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. We just care about the DFS stuff, though, obviously, and the guys that are in and out. Dylan Brooks, he is suspended one game. I know you had fun tweeting out Dylan Brooks' defensive stuff today with Michael Jordan and LeBron. We won't get into it.
That picture is so funny. I don't care what anyone thinks about, like, who's the GOAT? Is it MJ? Is it LeBron? Why don't we talk more about Kobe, even though Kobe was the man on the Redeem team or whatever they called that bullshit, when LeBron and Kobe and all them were on it. Yeah. Everyone just forgets that the guy that they went to for everything was Kobe Bryant in that game. Everyone forgets that, man, going. That's like a real life scenario where we saw like alpha. The alpha on that team was Kobe. It wasn't even LeBron.
No,
How was LeBron ahead of Kobe then? He's not even the alpha on that team.
Well, he was
younger. Even talking about, and Kobe is the closest thing you'll ever see to MJ. So if he's not ahead of Kobe in the pecking order,
that was the age difference. Like at that time, LeBron was like a baby. You know what I mean? Like
Mango.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth. I am not arguing against you. All I'm arguing right now is at that
point. What year was that? I gotta look. Was that 2008? What year was that? What year was that team?
No, I think it was 2004. Was it
2004? You know what? The year they beat Spain.
It was 2000. It was 2008. So
2008. So when did Kobe retire?
let's look at their ages. So LeBron. Now we're down a really dumb rabbit hole.
LeBron was in the league for what, 7-8 years at that time?
I mean, I'm looking up his age. LeBron, he was 24, and
24.
Kobe Bryant, age 2008 was.
So he was in the league for 7 years.
He was 29. So Kobe was 29, and LeBron was 24.
Okay. So LeBron was in the league for 7 years. He's not no fucking baby at that time. Like, he was pretty fucking good. Did he win a championship yet? Probably won one, I would assume, at least. Unless that was the Mavericks year. I can't remember. But either way, my point is Kobe was a carbon copy of Michael. You can't tell me that LeBron is just leaps over Kobe when Kobe is like Michael-esque, like literally the exact same person, and the accolades might not all be the same, but I just don't understand it. I don't understand how he leapfrogs him. I don't understand how he leapfrogs Steph Curry when Steph Curry's beat him in how many finals. I don't get it. I don't get it, Mangone. Why does this guy get a pass?
Listen, can you have this
Not
conversation?
Even the best player on,
can you have this conversation with Big
team.
T and not me? This is like my least favorite conversation.
I got fucking Mangone. He's yawning over here as I'm making this amazing case for why LeBron isn't even better than Kobe. And Mangone's over here falling asleep fucking. This is unbelievable.
It's just not my favorite conversation to have. So the problem is, see, here's the problem with this conversation, JSU. No matter what I say to you right now, it will never change your opinion on LeBron. You'll always think he's like a gutless loser, basically. And like, so like, if I talk with you and try to,
I'll just think about that picture of Dylan Brooks humping him defensively and him just like taking it and not looking at him like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like,
I would have elbowed that dude right in the face. I would have stopped playing basketball and I would have literally elbowed him in the face.
Do you want the closest conversation to politics? It's LeBron versus Michael. It's the closest conversation to politics. Both sides think they're.
I didn't bring up Michael. I brought up Kobe.
He's
not even better than Kobe. Stop it. He's not. He wasn't even more alpha. Kobe was the go-to guy in that. That's all you need to know. End of conversation. Kobe's greater than LeBron. Let's go.
Do you think Kobe would be better than Michael if he came first?
If he came what?
If he became first, if Kobe did whatever he did and Michael did whatever he did in different time periods.
I think that Kobe would have been the one teaching LeBron, probably.
No, I meant LeBron and Michael. So I'm saying flop the time periods they played, and Kobe played first. Kobe played first.
Kobe would be what he is.
Like Kobe would be Michael. Then people would talk about Kobe like they talk about.
No, I think that Michael would have tried. I don't think Kobe would have been Kobe though. Not to that extent, because I think he learned a lot of shit from Michael. Like a lot of. I think he stole like Michael's game pretty much to a T, Mango. Like literally all his little moves and how he did certain things. Like he stole that stuff. I think he would have still been amazing. I think Michael would have went to him, though.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Seriously.
Also, my favorite Melo story from the Redeem team. If you haven't seen it, it's great. But they talked about how Kobe would wake up at 4 a.m. and hit the gym and work out, and then they basically said like the next day D Wade and LeBron were down there with them. You know what I mean? And then
I ain't getting up at 4:30, man. I ain't getting up at 4:30.
Yeah, that's what Melo said. Yeah, I'm not getting up at 4:30, but I was in there at like 7 or 6 sometimes. Like it was so good.
He goes 4:30. That's too early, man. It's too early.
Yeah.
Melo was great in that USA team, but he wasn't the guy at the end. Kobe was the man. He hit that big. Kobe was the guy. Kobe set the tone in the final game. Kobe was the man, but Melo was amazing. Again, keep killing LeBron. He wasn't even the second best player on that team. Get him, whoever said that. Get him. Get him, Mitch.
Look at this. Mr. Bing King says, to be fair, I'm playing LeBron now tonight since he's on the slate. So there you go. We've convinced him.
He's on the late slate.
Oh, he's on that one. Okay.
He's not on this slate, I don't think, right? Yeah, no, he's not on this slate.
No, he's
But
not
if you play on that other site, he's on that slate. Or if you play the late slate on DraftKings, yeah.
Yep, he's not on our partner site, DraftKings, or if you're playing the late slate.
This has nothing to do with DFS. LeBron is great in DFS. He's awesome. You can play LeBron.
Also, I should mention if you do a $10 deposit on DraftKings, you get a $10 Millie Maker golf ticket. You don't have to enter some RPS promo code or anything fancy. All you got to do is put $10 onto your account, and you will get a $10 ticket to the Millie Maker Golf Tournament. So there is no reason not to do it. I'm not shilling some promo code. I'm just saying, hey, if you want a free $10, that's how you do it. So
yeah, it doesn't help us in any way. Get on there, drop $10 in deposit. You'll get a free $10 ticket.
Yep. And if for some reason it doesn't work, or there's something weird, email support. I'm sure they'll take care of it for you. So
I bet you.
But all right, let's get to OKC and the Rockets. That's enough Kobe and LeBron talk, because we're talking about Dylan Brooks doing the back shots with LeBron or whatever.
LeBron was just taking it. I give LeBron credit. He was just taking it and just allowing that shit. I don't know how he allowed that shit. I would have stopped and looked at him sideways, man, going like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, definitely was interesting. Isaiah Joe's questionable. Aaron Wiggins, he is back. So these teams seem healthier than they've been, at least the Thunder. And even the Rockets are a little bit healthier, right? Because Van Vliet is off the injury, and then they lose Dylan Brooks, and it's like, okay, whatever. It's Dylan Brooks. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I've basically been mainly playing Tari Eason here and there. Michael, stop. I mean, this is where we go too far. It's not Michael Redd over LeBron. This is insane. You're muted, JSU.
I was going hard for my guy Rick Majerus. I love it.
Yeah, it's just a bad take, but it's okay.
And yes, just like a tradition, Spencer Smith, the JSU tradition of betting Phil Mickelson at the Masters out of respect is alive, and it will be alive next week.
Yeah, I'm probably taking Bryson, like I always do, because Bryson's the guy.
I mean, Bryson or Rory's going to win. I'm just saying it right now. Like, one of those guys is going to win.
Yeah, I'm on Bryson for sure. So, but all right, let's get to the Rockets. We'll have tons of Master shows for you guys. Don't you worry. But yeah, Jalen Green 7'9", Tari Eason 6'2", Alfred Sengun, he is 9'2". I mean, Jason, this game, it just feels like a game I don't really want to have that much ownership on. Like, I can also see both these teams not showing their hand as much in this game. I mean, obviously the Rockets will give their effort, and I guess so will OKC, but I don't know. I think OKC just kind of managing some health and trying to get back to their form for the playoffs, and I just don't love the prices on a lot of these guys. Sure, could a Jalen Williams at 8-1 get you 45 DK points? Sure, but none of these guys are priority plays. I am not excited about this game. I might even like Celtics and Suns better than this game. That's maybe I'm crazy for saying that, JSU, but what's your overall take on this game?
Yeah, my overall take is I don't love the game as much. I kind of agree with you. As you look at both sides, it's like, do I really want to load up on this game? Probably not. Yeah, there's no Dylan Brooks. Does that make Tari Eason or Jabari Smith maybe a tad better of a play? Maybe on this slate. So those are the only two Rockets I would even consider. I think I'm also going to consider SGA even in the spot, just because they lose one of their better defenders. And on top of it, we might get a ton of value on the slate, man, going. You know what I mean? If Sabonis gets ruled out, if a couple things happen that kind of go our way for value, if the Jazz end up only having 8 guys, we might get a lot of value on the slate. So not a lot of good studs. I'm not taking SGA out of my pool. I don't the rest of this team, though, I just feel like it's a little pricey. Ahmed at 8,900, man, going, what's up with that price tag? That's crazy.
I think it's just because there's been staggered injuries of these guards, and there's prices keep going up and up. And I mean,
yeah, but for how long, man? He's been
I know.
8,900.
That's
Like
why I can't really get
they
to
price him out though. Like price him back in so I can at least like think about it in a tough matchup. Like
I'm with you. It's definitely it's tough to play these guys right now. Like and there's another game coming up. Like this next game is like an amazing game that I'm gonna want to load up on. So it's like it's just hard to like really get excited about.
Right. Right. And I don't, the idea of just throwing games out on this slate, you could still do that. Like if you hate a game, like I said, though, I think it's just as simple as it can be. SGA on OKC, the Rockets, I don't really love it, but the two bigs, the two cheaper bigs, if you want to try and get something in there.
Oh yeah, I'm with you, James. It's very hard for me to get excited about this game. I'm not really getting that much exposure, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. And like, let's say you are playing the other site, not our partner DraftKings. I wouldn't even like want to play this game that much too, because like there's night games I could play, right? Like this game seems like a tough one on the 7-game slate, so it'll certainly be tough on the 10.
So Mangone, I got a question for you though. On DraftKings, the top, let's go 4 guys. I'll keep Cade in there too, even though he's questionable. But SGA, Tatum, Cade, Booker. Probably throw Cade out if he's in, even because he's coming off of being out for a little while. So, like, what are you doing if you get value?
Yeah. No, that's actually a good question, because if
doesn't that just make SGA like probably the best play overall?
Depends where the value comes, right? Like because, like, I'll sort by value right now. Real quick.
Well, okay. Well, what if we get value at center?
Yeah, then you have to pick between pick between your guards and your forwards.
Yep.
I mean, I think Cade could be interesting if I know his minutes are good. I just don't know if his minutes are good. Like, I would have to feel good about that. If Jalen's out, I like Tatum. I'll say this. I've preached it on a lot of slates. Like, I just want to spend a bet forward. And maybe it's not going up for these studs, JSU. Maybe it's it's playing like Josh Giddey and Denny Avdia.
The next range. Yeah, next range.
And if you do get Sabonis out, I want DeMar DeRozan or Levine, or maybe Pascal's out and I want Halliburton. Maybe it's a day, and I'm not saying do this, but like, here's an idea, JSU. You could run SaberSim, and you could X out SGA, Tatum, Cade, and Booker, and Sabonis. And I'll tell you this, you will instantly be different by just doing that if you have all the value in the world. I don't know what your teams would look like, but it would be interesting. We are getting to that time of year where, like, I don't know, that can happen at times. My lean would be SGA or Tatum as my choice, but I need to know where the value is going to be, I guess. And, like, that would help me make my decision. Like, if I have a lot of value guards, then I would go to, Tatum as a spend. So that's kind of my thought process here. What are you laughing at?
I gotta no, nothing from you. I got a DM from my guy NYG fan, and it's just something I think about Ben Simmons, and it had me laughing. Just like the little the little blurb. You know how you see the video. I haven't seen the video yet, but you get like the little blurb before you even look at it. So the little blurb had me laughing.
I do love the Ben Simmons chatter. You and I are definitely Ben Simmons haters. JC, you know what I'm gonna do once like the finals ends? Every year there's a Ben Simmons 3-point video that surfaces. Like every year, it's the same.
Yeah,
thing.
like he's making them, right?
Yeah,
he's making them. He's good.
On like June 26th, I'm gonna tweet out a video, like an old video, and be like, Ben Simmons getting his jump shot up just to bait people. Just an old one, because it happens every year. It's the same
every single
crap.
year. I don't know how people fall for it every single year, but they did. Every single year they were like, "Oh, he's good."
It's like I saw people saw Rudy Gobert making threes, like, in an open gym, and they're like, "Oh man, Rudy's going to be a problem if he can hit a three." Dude doesn't hit a three all season. Like, shut up. Like, it's just brutal.
Yes, sir. NYG fan beast.
He is NYG fan. If you're watching League of Legends tonight, midnight, 5-game slate. It's a good one. So I'm sure you'll be in the streets.
He's always in the streets.
Yeah, I do like the League of Legends streets. I will be playing tonight. So my team's playing. I have a team in League of Legends, JC, so I'm rooting them on.
All right, there you go.
All right, let's get to the game that everyone wants to talk about. Everyone wants to talk about Portland and Chicago. If I sort by ownership, JSU, I'll just sort by ownership. The guys above 10% are currently Zach Collins, Buzeles, Zach Collins. It's a revenge game for him. Shadon Sharp, Denny Avia, Anthony Simons, Klingon, and Josh Giddey. I went from 10% all the way up to the highest owned. So the last guys I said are the highest owned. Giddey, Klingon, Simons, and Denny. But the real reason to talk about this game, JSU, the real reason is injuries. Lonzo Ball, questionable. Javon Carter, questionable. We got Trey Jones still out with Julian Phillips and Dallin Terry. They are in. The key on the Portland side of the ball, Tumani Kumara, questionable with Jeremy Grant, doubtful. Scoot Henderson out, and Duop Reith and Anthony Simons questionable. Listen, it's a Denny Avia slate. It's just, you want to load up on him. I know he's 9-4. I really don't care that he's 9-4. He's going to crush. He's going to give me my 40-plus DK points at least, and probably more. Josh Giddey, it's a good spot for him as well. He's been playing good basketball. Klingon, the thing I like about him in this spot is I know they're going to match up with their big man, and so it's going to be like his minutes are going to be safe. And if Duop Reith is out, his minutes become even more safe for this game. The key is who's going to be in and out, right? Because if a Kamara's out, it's going to help these wing guys. It's going to help a Shadon Sharp, who was my play of the day yesterday and absolutely crushed. It could even help him Matisse Thybulle a little bit and give him a bit of a boost if he's out. Anthony Simons, if he's out, it's obviously going to help Delano Banton, who we talked about yesterday. He wasn't as good as we thought he was going to be, but I still think he was solid enough. But it was really Shadon Sharp and Denny Avia. Those are the two that we liked. I think he was your play. Was he? Oh, no, Rubio was with me yesterday. Denny was Rubio's play, and then mine was Shadon Sharp. We love the Portland Trailblazers. I'm going to love them again. And I used to also like some Chicago Bulls as well. But JSU, break this game down because there's a lot of good plays here.
Yeah, a ton of good plays. I mean, you talked about it. Delano Banton, too, if Simons is out, he's going to be another good play. Denny, Sharp. I don't know how you don't play at least one of Denny or Sharp. You probably want both, but you got to play, I think, at least one if Simons is out, especially. And I might play both. I don't even know yet. I want to wait and see if Kamara, Simons are out. Because if both those guys are out, you might just want to jam Portland like Denny, Sharp, and Banton. So I could see all three of them crushing. On the Chicago side, I like Josh Giddey. I'm not paying the $8,700 for Kobe White. No Kevin Huerter. I think Buzelis is fine. He's going to have his spots. This could be a spot, where he goes off for sure. But I definitely think it's more like Giddey, and then because like you said, I think playing that like under 10K build is the way to go here. So I think Giddey and Buzelis are the two guys I like the most. I think you can play a Zach Collins if you want, or Dallin Terry, but those are kind of fillers, not main pieces here. So Portland, best plays for sure right now, especially if those guys end up being out. They become even better plays. And you want a piece of this game for sure.
Yep, you definitely want a piece of this game. I'll make sure I have a lot of pieces from this game. Let's get to
I agree with Steve, too. I doubt he plays.
Yeah, and honestly, I do think it's going to help Thybulle for sure. I don't. It's not my most.
It's going to help Giddey, too, not having to deal with him.
That is true. Kamara is a good defender. That's a good point there. All right, next game up, Cleveland and San Antonio Spurs, the last game of the slate. Injury news in this game. There's some, not a lot, but there is some. Garland, he is back. So is Donovan Mitchell. Ty Jerome, he is out. D Wade is out. We also have Charles Bassey questionable. Kellen Johnson probable. Socan out. And then Vassell is back. So let me count the Spurs just because I think they're a little crowded today. Castle, Vassell, Keldon, Chris Paul, Mamu, Barnes, Champagny, Biyombo, Bassey, maybe. Let's not include him. Wesley, Branham, and then Jordan McLaughlin. So it's 11 or 12. They got guys. That's the kind of point I'm getting at. Also, they have increased prices. Like, if I play Steven Castle at 7-4, that's not a cheap tag in this match against Cleveland. And Devin Vassell at 7-3, especially with him back and stealing some usage. So I'm not dying to get to a lot of the guys in this game. I do think a Keldon Johnson isn't bad with a Sohan out. Could definitely help him at 5,100. Sandro, we've talked about how he could pop at some point here soon. Maybe he'll pop a little bit here, but I don't know. Not a game I'm dying to get to. Sandro looks like he's getting the ownership, and Chris Paul, I should mention him. He's 4.3K. It's a really weird and cheap price tag that just I never know what to do with every single slate. And then Cleveland side of the ball. You got guys that are clearly getting some ownership here. DeAndre Hunter, not a bad value. 4,100 is just cheap for him in this spot. Donovan Mitchell, Garland, and Mobley, all options that I think you can consider as spend-ups just because of the raw points they can provide. It's an easy matchup against the Spurs. And if the Spurs do keep it close, you are going to see a ceiling game from one of these guys. So it makes sense that the studs are in play, and DeAndre Hunter is just a little too cheap in this spot. And then Spurs side of the ball, I'm curious what you're doing with Chris Paul and Sandro, who are the highest owned guys in this game, James.
Yeah, honestly, they're the only two Spurs I could even think of playing, and I don't really want to because Cleveland is pretty healthy outside of Ty Jerome and Dean Wade, and I'm surprised more guys aren't out, to be honest. I'm surprised they didn't sit someone else at the top against this team. I could see them putting it to the Spurs, so I don't want to spend up for Spurs, and I don't really want to spend up for Cleveland either. If this game stays close, I get it. Like an Evan Mobley or a Donnie could definitely crush. I just don't think I'm going to pay those price tags though, Mango. And I think there's better spots. If you want to play a DeAndre Hunter, if he fits as a last piece, or Chris Paul or Sandro, that's fine. But I don't like it. I'm going to stay away. I think Cleveland puts it to them, and maybe just Mamu in a blowout.
Yeah, the Mamu blowout angle is not the worst one, but I kind of want to be playing for that. They might need his size a little bit more, and he just might play the blowout and do well in that time. Chris Paul, you play it the other way, right? Maybe he doesn't do well because he doesn't get the minutes. Listen, if I know his minutes, I know if I'm playing him around, right? I just don't know that, so that's the kind of thing you have to make a decision on when you are rostering him in this spot. All right, JC, that's the slate. We talked about every single game. We talked about Michael Jordan versus LeBron. The people enjoyed that. Kobe versus LeBron.
It was Kobe versus LeBron. I didn't even bring Michael into it.
Fair.
You brought Michael into it. I didn't do that.
That is fair. I will give you that at least. Let's get the plays of the day then. A lot of plays to pick from. Obviously, we don't have all the injury news yet, but JSU, break it down for me. Who do you got? Who is your play of the day?
Yeah. Now, I don't think the ownerships on these Portland guys are going to stay where they are depending on news. And it's kind of the same thing. Like news base is going to drive up ownership on some of these guys, but I'm just gonna go with he's been so good actually. I'll go the other side. I'm gonna go Josh Giddey at that price tag. I think Kamara out actually helps him a ton because I think he would see a bunch of Kamara, and not having to deal with that I think is going to help him. So I think it's the clear best game, and I want to be over on it. So I'll go Josh Giddey as my play of the day, but it's a really good game to attack.
Perfect. I'm going with the guy on the Portland side. I'm just going to run it back, JSU. I'm running it back with Shea Don Sharp.
I knew you were going to. That's why I didn't give him.
Yeah. He's the guy. He's been the guy. Not to say Denny's not. I love Denny too. I'm a Denny guy as well. But I like what they got going on in Portland a little bit. So, I'm going to go with Shea Don Sharp. And even if Simons is in, I still think you can play Sharp. And I think Kamara, I agree. I think he sits, and it's a good spot for Shadon Sharp. And hey, we like targeting the Bulls, so I am in on Shadon Sharp. All right, that'll wrap it up for us. We got the MLB Swing for the Fences show. It's already live. So if you haven't left us, go leave us and go hang out with them. Hit that like before you leave, though. Subscribe to the channel. Also, JSU MMA. Is there a show tomorrow? What time is it at?
Yeah, there is a show. Card, not that great. We lost a fight. But hopefully don't lose any more. Show's going to actually be at 2 tomorrow to oblige JBC because it's too early at 11. So we are going to go at 2 for him so he can join us on the show. So it'll be me, Dan, and JBC. If you want our takes, I think the slate locks at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So 2 p.m. Eastern time, we'll go live. We'll give out some winners, and we'll have you guys covered for MMA. So check us out tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
All right, JC. By the way, I've been messing with some MMA stuff with some AI stuff. So I've been like, I know nothing about MMA, so it's kind of just clean data and stuff, right? There's no bias for me. I have no idea what's going on with a lot of it. So I went 8-2 last week with it. So that was my test run. We're gonna test it out again.
8-2, holding back on the winners, man. Going, I see you.
I will say, I think there were a lot of favorites that won last week, and I don't know if that played a little bit of a factor. I need more data. It's only 1 week, JSU, but it got right some of like the KOs and the rounds. It was pretty interesting. So I'm gonna keep toying with it. I'm not saying I'm touting anything. I'm just having fun. It's something I don't know much about, and there's no bias, so it's a good time. So
MMA's a good time.
Yeah, I'll be in the MMA streets with you this weekend. Of course, we'll have NASCAR and we'll have everything else for you guys, so be sure to check that out. We're going to get on out of here. Thanks a lot for joining us on the show. For me, Mango, and JSU, we'll see you guys later.